special year for us for various reasons. We decided that two reasons are so strong that we should really emphasize on it. It's the 25th anniversary of the launch of our first collection, and the Lange 1 was in the first collection, and it's still with us, and it's still the backbone of our business, and I probably would say that it epitomizes us better than any other watch. I would go so far to say I would probably not sit here, at least not discussing with you our Lange und Söhne without that specific watch. That's how important it is and was for us. And I just unveil what we have for this year. And again, we said if it's a Lange 1, we should go back to the roots. And the first Lange 1s, not many people remember that, they had printed indices and not made out of the same case material. The blue steel hands is something which collectors go crazy about, and we use it very scarcely, specifically in the Lange 1. And then we decided, yes, we'll do that. We go back to our roots, we'll make it as we started, but then again we reworked a little bit the dial, and we have established another level. And with 3 different surface treatments, it becomes a very nice 3-dimensional approach. There are 2 people that were instrumental for, the rebirth of our brand, and, that's definitely the brainchild of one of them. And to have enough real estate to really document how much we honor them, we decided for the first time to put our half-hunter case around the Lange 1. This is my office. Now it's the Lange Stammhaus, of course, but my office is in there.
Exactly.
And there are 2 names mentioned here. So one is Walter Lange and the other is Günter Blümlein. And for the first time, actually, we really honor Günter Blümlein for what he did for us. Many things that we do today, you can almost directly link it back to ideas that he started, or design rules that he implemented. We go a little bit further because what would be a Lange and Söhne watch without the view into the movement? That's why the half-hunter's case is ideal for this. So you can open it, you see the beautiful 3/4 plate, and very nicely,
special.
exactly. Yes. You know that we always hand engrave our balance cocks. And for this specific model, it's limited to 250. We have a 25 engraved on the balance cock. We adjusted, of course, the rest of the decoration. And to make it really special, we treated everything like we treat our moon discs. So it comes with that beautiful blue. Definitely, look at it.
Very desirable, only 250 pieces.
Which is a good number, because I'm sure that demand will outstrip supply by a lot. But on the other hand, there is still, that's not a 200,000 euro watch for very few. That's a watch for all the collectors around the world, because it's, for us, it is affordable. It is an expensive watch. I don't want to be arrogant, but it's in line with what we usually also sell, and that's on purpose, because we want to celebrate that special year with as many collectors as possible. 10 years. We also have something that is now 10 years with us.
Exactly.
The Zeitwerk. I always say to Tony, I love the Zeitwerk, but I need a watch with a date. And not only does it come with a date, there are many things that we learned and that we use in this watch. There's a little bit of lumen technology. You need to bring a date into that watch, because where usually you would put the date, it's all occupied. Mm-hmm. And you remember with the Lange 1 Tourbillon Perpetual calendar, you make it as complicated as possible, but you still see it's a Lange 1, because the design language is completely intact. And of course, we wanted to achieve exactly the same with the Zeitwerk. That's why the ring is around. It's 2 rings, there's a crystal on top, and then it's a red disc underneath, and that's jumping, and it's jumping sharp at 12 o'clock midnight. I have to say, I'm so tired at night, I won't see it. But everything is jumping at 12 o'clock midnight.
It seems a little bit bigger.
It's not actually. It's bigger than it's the same.
Well.
It's the same size in the striking time or the minute repeater. It's 44.2 millimeter, but in fact it is thinner by 0.3 millimeter. Even it has twice the amount of power reserve, because it's now 72 hours of power reserve and not 36 anymore. Even I have to say, because I'm the guy that wakes up in the morning and the sort of my morning ritual is to wind my watch. But I agree that 72 hours just gives you more comfort and security than 36 hours. But if the watch comes to a standstill, it's actually also quite easy to adjust, because we have 2 push buttons like we do in a chronograph.
Yes.
Because you never know how strong somebody pushes in, how quick, and so on and so forth. So to avoid that maybe somebody's pushing it whilst it's jumping and so on and so forth and causing a little bit of a problem, we use inverse push buttons. So what happens is they don't release when you push. They actually activate when you release. And by that we can control the amount of torque or power that goes into the movement. And it's not regardless how tough you push. That doesn't have any impact, only you release, and that's organized by us. So the little thing, but of course it means a lot for safety. And as Germans, we always make sure that nothing can break easily.
Gründlich.
Yes.
Good.
Good word. Good German word.
In your eyes, are there a few more highlights? Because these are already very stunning pieces.
These are stunning pieces because that's 25 years, that's 10 years, and you've been around long enough to remember that was quite controversial in the beginning. We have some other watches that we launch, the Datograph Perpetual Calendar Tourbillon.
That one caught my eye.
It's a pink gold dial. It's untreated. There's no coat on it. It is really, that's how the material looks like. And it will not oxidize because it's a very special alloy. Therefore, we use for the first time a completely untreated pink gold dial. And of course, we work the surface, there's a grenache and things like that on it, but there is no coat on it. It is pure pink gold. That's also limited by production, because it'll take us probably 3 years to produce the 100 watches. And that's after, now we know the movement. It's a tourbillon, perpetual calendar, and a flyback chronograph. That is a fairly complicated watch. It comes with challenges in communication, because I have seen not yet a photo with a true reflection of that color. I would invite everybody who is interested in that watch, don't get irritated or don't get annoyed or don't get interested before you've seen it in the flesh, because that watch really, in reality, looks a lot different than on most photos that I've seen so far. And last but not least, maybe the Richard Lange jumping second. I've heard the word contemporary quite often, because that black dial with the red little numbers in a white gold case.
And it was also a Lange-matique.
It's again, in little tweaks, it's honey gold.
Exactly, limited edition because of the material.
We always do a honey gold only limited edition because it's hard to machine, and it will never be a gold that we can use in normal regular production because of the complications that comes with in working. We also treated the dial differently, so there is a nice ring around. Looks like guilloche, but of course you cannot use guilloche on that, so it's machined. But it has a very nice appeal. Again, it emphasizes on the three-dimensionality of these dials. And we mustn't forget we launched that watch in 2001. Still, a movement with a 3/4 rotor, the zero reset, all the bells and whistles that we had in the beginning with that specific. It's a beautiful movement. 100 watches, that's it.
Sounds like a very good lineup for this year.
By now, because it's Tuesday evening, even I feel like Thursday night. But I would say usually after Monday afternoon, you have a good idea whether, what you present is in line or better than the expectation of your good customers.
And it feels good?
I'm quite happy. I'm tired, but I'm also happy.
Okay.
Thank you, Frank. Always good to see you.
Likewise.
Thank you.